So thyroid medication is probably one of the most commonly prescribed medications. There are a lot of people that have to take thyroid medications, and there's quite a few different types of thyroid medications out there. But I wanted to go over with you some of my tips and tricks for taking the medication, how you can increase the absorption of it, get the most bang for your buck with taking the medication, and kind of what to look for. If you could do me a big favor first, though, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel and then hit that bell so you get notification every time I release a new video. I release one every single week. So let's go ahead and dive in here. So I get asked about this all the time because, first of all, I take thyroid medication myself, so people constantly ask me, what's my advice? What do I take? How do I take it? All the tips and tricks. So something that you should kind of look for when you do start thyroid medication. First of all, keep in mind that everyone is very different with how fast the thyroid medication works, how it actually works for them. So sometimes you have to give it a little bit more time if you're like, I don't know if it's working or not. Sometimes it's a matter of it just needs to be a little bit more time. Also keep in mind that most thyroid medications that are typically prescribed do not have active thyroid hormone in them, which is T3. They usually just have T4, something like Synthroid or levothyroxine. And some people don't do as well with medication that has no T3 in it because you have to convert so much T4 to T3. So also keep that in mind if you feel like, you know what, still not working, it's been 6 months, maybe investigate. First of all, the doctor needs to check your T3 on a blood test, but maybe investigate and start asking them, hey, anywhere that we can have some T3, that would be a suggestion. If you're 6 months in and you're like, don't feel any different, actually feel worse, that's definitely time to talk to your doctor. The thing to also look for, though, if maybe it is too much, is you need to look for actually hyperthyroid symptoms. So like anxiousness, panicky, heart rate's fast, sweating, you're laying there wide awake at night. That's sometimes that the dosage is too high. So that's kind of what I would look for. As far as timing of the medication, for me personally, what I have found that works the best so that I don't have any supplements or anything, food, anything else that can interfere with the absorption is I always wake up at least one time in the middle of the night. I take it then. So I have it sitting on my nightstand with a little glass of water and I take it in the middle of the night. Then I never have to worry about anything affecting the absorption. That does not work for everyone. So my suggestion is the minute you wake up then in the morning, you take it right away. Now, you also have to keep in mind it needs to be away from a lot of supplements, vitamins, minerals, things like that. So we're talking probably like 4 hours from things like calcium, iron, even estrogen supplementation. You have to be very careful with that. Even drinking like coffee needs to be at least 2 hours away from coffee. Well, when do most people take their thyroid medication? Right when they wake up and they have coffee at the same time. So it needs to be 2 hours away. Typically from supplements, I usually say around 4 hours away. When it's things like calcium and iron and stuff like that I mentioned, sometimes even magnesium can do it too. So I usually try to space it at least 4 hours away from those types of things. And like I mentioned too, orange juice is another one that a lot of people drink in the mornings, and you want it far away from that. Well, I usually do at least a couple hours for that as well. So just kind of some tips and tricks with that. And then obviously if you are having food or anything else besides water, it needs to be, I usually go on the a little bit more cautious with it. Some people would just say you just need 30 minutes. I usually say try 60 minutes. Just give you a little bit extra time. So definitely has to be on an empty stomach. Now, I have seen people where they will take their thyroid medications in split dosing. If that's the case, that is something you definitely need to work with your doctor on, even a practitioner. That's really hard to judge. But what I don't recommend is to take your medication like if you do take it in the middle of the day or in the afternoon and it's right around food. Again, it has to be away from all those things. That's why it's really good to take it in the morning, or like I do, I take it in the middle of the night. So it works fantastic that way. And it doesn't affect my sleep, doesn't affect anything. I'm used to doing it that way. Some other tips and tricks, diet and lifestyle things that maybe could support the usage of your medication. For one of the things that I work with my clients on a lot is looking at minerals. And the reason why is because a lot of minerals can affect the absorption, the usage of thyroid hormones as a whole. So if you're taking thyroid medication, which is T3, T4, it might be a combo of both, or it might just be one or the other. We want to increase the absorption of that medication. So one, gut health is super important. Two, minerals Minerals are so important because like things like potassium, if you're really lacking potassium, your cells will not be sensitive enough to utilize those thyroid hormones that are coming in from the medication or what you have available. So just keep that in mind. I do a lot of investigating. I look at things like minerals and gut health a lot because especially stress, if you're under an immense amount of stress, you may not use much of that thyroid hormone medication. And the reason is because if you're under stress, your body's going to be like, we're protecting you. So we don't need that much thyroid hormone right now, so we're just not going to absorb it. If you have gut things going on, same thing. If you have minerals going, mineral imbalances and deficiencies, same exact thing. That's why I do a lot of investigating. So just something to kind of consider that, if you are taking thyroid medication, you're like, I am still struggling. I've been on it forever. There's a lot of different things to look at. One of the things that you also should look at is making sure you're getting a full thyroid panel. I will also drop a link below for my guide. That's the secret to reading your thyroid blood test. This guide I absolutely love. It's one of my most common guides that I have. I have a few. I have another one coming out here very soon on a toxin-free, thyroid-friendly, toxin-free cheat sheet. It's a lot of words. But the secret to reading thyroid blood tests, because it gives you all the reference ranges that are more optimal, what to have checked, why to have them checked. And so making sure you're getting a full thyroid panel can also determine, if you're really low on T3 and you're only taking T4 medication, you're probably not converting enough of that medication over. So things to work on to increase conversion. So that's why I do full picture of the thyroid panel to make sure that is that medication appropriate for you, and are you even absorbing it and using it? There's a lot of things that you need to look at for that. So I'll have the link below for that. So I hope these tips help you. If there's anything else that comes up that you have questions with, definitely let me know. Drop a comment below as well if you've ever been on this journey with thyroid medication and had your own struggles. I know I have. I was on things like levothyroxine and Synthroid for many, many years, which is T4 only, and I did not do very well with it. Now, granted, I was doing all the things that I shouldn't be, like not taking on an empty stomach because I was never educated on it. Now it's incredible, all the tips and tricks that I wish I had known back then, I have now, but that's why I want to share this all with you. So again, just let me know if there's anything else comes up. You can grab the guide below as well, and then I will see you on the next video. Bye.